that we've been growing under the tunnel, and all I'm going to do is cut the larger bits off to leave some of the smaller bits to grow further. Obviously the smaller the bits though, the more tender they are, so it depends if you're going to put them in a salad or if you're going to put them in something like a casserole of some sort. There we go, charred. So just inside this brassica cage that I made, you can see some lovely purple curly kale and the green kale the other side. So I'm just going to trim some more of this off. But right in the middle, if you can just see, I can get my camera in, is some wonderful red cabbages that are just starting to take shape. So I want to keep these protected from all the white fly. So my two varieties of kale are doing really well. You can see one in the background there and the green at the front. And then the red cabbages are still doing well down here, as you can see. Excellent. So this is the green kale. I'm going to take some of this off, and what you're supposed to do is take the outer edges off to leave these smaller bits inside, as you can see. So I'm just going to snip down, take half a dozen bits out, and that will leave chance for the other bits to grow. Well, there you go. The trouble is, you might be able to see on the camera, there's an awful lot of white fly, which is really difficult to keep on top of. So perhaps next season I need to do some more research on that pest control. This is the last of the sweet corn I've pulled up this morning, as the weather's now turning because it's mid-October. I was up yesterday and I've come this morning to find one of the cobs torn from the plant, lying on the ground, and it's been eaten. So I'm guessing it's probably a rat, because rats like sweet corn apparently. So I'm not quite sure if any of this is any good because they're quite small, as if you can see here. But we'll pull them back and have a look. Gone a bit dry at the top. Pop your nail in. There we go. That milky bit that comes out, that means that's ready. So that's a bit small, perfectly edible. I'm just going to quickly check the rest. Just pull it back. Okay. Again, nice and yellow. Pop your nail in. Any milkiness comes out. There we go. That means that's nice and ripe. So I've got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 in total in this little wee baby one. That is what it looks like when it's not germinated. See how it's just pale in colour? So that will just go in the compost. So here are 2 leeks I've just pulled up. Quite easy to dig up. Look at these though, aren't they interesting? Little baby ones. So what I'm going to do is separate those and get them back in the ground, I think. This is my only butternut squash plant or fruit. It doesn't seem to be changing colour, so what I've decided to do, after a little bit of research, I'm going to cut it off the plant, pop it on the windowsill at home where it should naturally ripen in the sunshine. So here we go. Ooh. Crikey, that's heavy. This is the butternut squash. I've just cut off the plant. Now the weather's turning, I can't imagine it's going to ripen out here for much longer, and obviously the plant's going to start to go a bit squishy or dry out depending on the weather. So I've chosen to cut it off. I'm going to pop it on the windowsill at home and hopefully it'll ripen there. That's what Google says. The one thing that's growing really well, I've never grown before, are these beautiful Brussels sprouts, or balls of the devil, I think my husband calls them. Despite the white fly, they seem to be doing really, really well. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to look down at the bottom, which I'm just going to pan down, and I'm going to get rid of all these yellowy leaves, because what we don't want is the actual roots concentrating the energy on the bits that aren't required. So I'm going to get rid of all of this morning. If you remember, I popped some little gem lettuces in. These seem to be doing really, really well. And again, they, I think, are quite tolerant to the colder and wetter climate, which obviously we're going to be getting now. Okay, so the second lot of garlic that I put in from Wilco's was the garlic allium sativum Casablanca. They're like little soldiers lot, they've all just come through. They were planted on the 1st of the 10th, so they're going to be doing really well for next year. My red Chantenay carrots all seem to be standing up right now as if they've established. So let's see how we get on with these. Another thing I put in on the 1st of the 10th was this collection of onions. Some of them are just starting to come through in between the weeds, and what's a really good opportunity now is to have a look and see whether any of the onions have been forced out of the ground by birds picking. You can see there's a white one there, and there's a red one over here, so I'm going to be replanting those in a little deeper probably. One thing that I've just left to grow, and I should have thinned them out, is these little radishes. Some of these are ready now, so look, I'm just going to pull them out, just literally just pull them out really gently. There's a cluster there, that's because I've not thinned them out. There we go, really, really simple to grow. I think it was one of the first things I grew in the spring. These are the Desiree potatoes that I planted August bank holiday, so they seem to be doing really, really well, so we'll keep an eye on those just because of the weather. Another good crop that keeps going until the frosts come are these French beans. Never grown them before again, but look, really nice good crop on here that I can get off. Just trim them off and hopefully some more will grow. There we go. There we go. These are the red cabbage that I put in probably late summer, and these seem to be doing really well. It's got a good firm head and they're doing quite nicely there. The purple or red kale is still doing really, really well, and what you can do, because I read it, is you can leave some in to overwinter, so I might just do that. And I've still got loads of green kale. That was really easy to grow and it's really good for you. So this is the view from the back of my allotment. As you can see, you've got the apple tree in the middle, you've got the Brussels sprouts at the back, and then I've got the onion sets, radishes, lettuces coming down to the kale and the cabbage. So you can grow things this time of year. Just do a lot of research. I've got a couple of allotment books, and it's the power of Google as well.